Good evening, guys. It's Monday evening. I didn't get a chance to do my sales update last week, mainly because of the hitching meetup. I was playing catch up on the Thursday and the Friday, packaging parcels and getting them shipped out. This is just my 10 most interesting sales. Not necessarily the most expensive sales and not necessarily the most best items, but they've all got either a story behind them or they're rare items. So starting from the oldest to the newest, this is a Disney Infinity portal base. I'm including this because I actually sent out the wrong one. The person who bought it for the PS4 compatibility, and as you can see in this photo here, there's a part number, and this ends in 386. That means it's a PS3 and PS4 compatibility. I actually sent a 385 model. I've got about 10 of these. They're all in a box, and I basically picked out the wrong one and shipped it out. So I got a bad email from the customer complaining, so I offered a full refund or a replacement item. And they can just keep the one I've already sent them. As goes with all these things, it's always the cheap items that cause problems. This was a £5.80 with free postage item. So really, I would hate to get negative feedback or a bad mark for this one. Hopefully I've dodged that. I've just got to get this replacement out tomorrow, and that should be done with then, hopefully, fingers crossed anyway. But that's why I'm including it here. Next one was this. I've had this on sale for a long time, originally wanting about £200 for it, which is basically top end for a working system. This did work, but it needs new belts because the tapes play at a weird speed. They do work, but it's sort of ooh. So I basically sold it as used, but needing belts, and I've reduced it over the months. As I say, it started about £200, came down to £99.99. Somebody sent me an offer, and I think it was about £79, and I took that, so I was quite happy with that. And it sold, so pleased with that sale. It was a nice sale, and it actually sold the night before the hitching meetup, that one. This one is a Nintendo DS Lite. It was a nice item, but why I'm including this is it was a really nice green-blue colour, but I had to buy a charger for it, like the power pack, and they had to print out a user manual, and it just shows how better an item can be displayed if it's got the manual and the power pack with it. Power pack cost about £2. It's obviously non-official, but it allows people to charge the item, and I think I actually had to include a styluses with it. I bought them as well previously. I had a big batch of those in stock ready to be used, because usually when I pick up DS's they don't have the stylus. You can get them really cheap from China, so I've already had them, and I've got different colours, and luckily I had the correct colour for this DS, and I got £30 for it, so really pleased with that sale. This one proves that the weather's starting to turn. This is a heater, not a great deal of money here, £9.99, but it was boxed. I think it was basically brand new, but wasn't really sure, so I sold it as used. But yeah, I did test it. As you can see here, it got hot. It was a nice unit. And yeah, $9.99. I've got a few of these to put on sale now that the colder weather's coming. This one's a Yamaha keyboard, this time a PSS 270 model. It was a nice one because it was all boxed, and I included the power supply, although it wasn't an original power supply with this one. But I got £42.95 for it plus the shipping. This was an interesting item, although not as valuable as I'd originally hoped when I bought it. I got this at auction. This is a vintage Betamax video camera. Basically, it doesn't take any tapes. I think you have to connect it to your Betamax video recorder, and then you use the video camera, and then I guess you'd have to take some sort of video recording equipment with you if you want to record outside and stuff. Couldn't test this at all. Couldn't even see if it turned on, so I sold it as basically untested condition, and it sold for $24.95. As I say, I was hoping for it to sell for a little bit more, but it didn't. But I was happy with that. I think it only cost me a £5 at auction. This was a nice sale. It sold for $49.99. It's a Bush portable DVD player, and this came from auction. I think it was about £5. I put a power supply with it to charge it up. Came with the remote, as you can see here. I tested it with it. It actually came with a DVD in it, Mrs. Brown Boys, which I'm not very keen on that comedy really, but it was a good test DVD to hand, so I used it for the photo, and now it's in my stock of DVDs to use for testing. An excellent sale there, and these proved to be still quite popular. I wouldn't have thought they would be nowadays with the, people have got like 4G data and Wi-Fi on the tablet and all of this, but yeah, these seem still to be popular. Now you might recognise this. It's at the start of all my Tap Peddler videos. It's the Super Simon that's in the introduction, and it's eventually sold almost a year after I bought it for $29.98. Proves that Christmas is coming. This was an interesting one because I actually got this for free. I found this outside my house lying at the side of the road. It was filthy dirty. I bought it and gave it a quick wipe over. It had a few scrapes on there, but I sold it for £10 plus the postage. And the last one is an Apple iPod Classic, a 60GB model. Really nice working condition, apart from the screen had these sort of blobs all on them, but it fully worked, so I seem to have got pretty much top dollar for this, so I was really pleased. It's a nice one. There's little dents on the item you can see there, but I included a charger and an in-car charger, and I put the user manual on a CD-ROM and put that with it as well. So if you compare what would have been just that as the item to all of those items, it just helps it get a sale really. So yeah, that was my quick roundup of 10 interesting items that sold on eBay this week for me. Just to add something extra onto the end of this video, I thought I'd do a little bit of videoing of me picking the items out of my storage. So I'll just add those onto the end of this video. So I hope you enjoyed that little insight into my storage, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, so I'm in my storage now, and I've got all these items I've got listed here that I need to pick from my storage. So I'm going to start with a Disney Infinity base. Here somewhere. We're on M3, so M3 is down here. There we go, I'll put that one. In the bag. This is my O storage, which means it's almost outside. You can see I've sort of labelled all my shelving quite cleverly there. But yeah, so on O2, which is 1, 2, there should be a Murphy Richards answering machine. I can see that there, so that can go in the box. What else have I got on O2? I've got O1 a microphone. It should be somewhere on here. There we go, one microphone. L the box O1. L the box. I'm guessing that probably is it. Yes. Of a box on the old Xbox brick. O1 Xbox brick here. One Xbox brick power supply, more to get from down here. So let's have a look what I've got. This is my L storage, because it's on the left hand side when I walk in the door. Around here is my R storage, and this is the M storage, because that's in the middle. So on the L storage I've got a dehumidifier L1. So I start from the very end, L1, 2, 3, 4, and then I've got one here, 5, 6, 7, 8. So L1 is up here, and I can see the dehumidifier just here on the top. So I can take that and put that by the, I'll just put that directly by the front door. Spanish. Right, so I sell a lot of Spanish tutors, and I've got a big box here full of French tutors and German tutors. Still need to sort these out a little bit better, but there's the Spanish one. Something else around by here as well. I think it's a one, which is just up here. Hyundai halogen heater. I think it would have been easier to get from the other side actually. That's sorted as well. iPod, I'll take that with me. As you can see, my storage is a little bit haphazard. The whole thing works on my knowledge about how I've labelled things. Possibly isn't the best way to do it, but it is how I do it, so it's just the way it is. No, that's sold as well, so I'll take that out when I'm here. Shows no, I haven't done it right. That's sold as well, the Panasonic tape player. There's the Casio calculator, that's supposed to be over there. Does look good, but at least I found it. I'm now looking for a jigsaw puzzle about gardens. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So I'll put that over by the entrance.